into the dark side of the moon. No, I went to Myrtle Beach to go to the flea market this morning, but I figured I'd go and get the comic books done first. So this one is a really big one. Now, most of these will be $1 comic books. This one is not. This was $5, and that's a great deal for me personally. And it's in a plastic container, which is not something you're going to get normally. It's one of those massively huge. Look, it makes my hands look small. It's one of those massively huge limited collector's editions. I want to say like king size. I don't know what kind of size you would call this. C27 with one magical word, Shazam. Also for $5, and the rest of these will be $1 after this. I got this right here. It was a trade paperback. So it's Dungeons and Dragons, the Forgotten Realms classics. So I usually don't do trade paperbacks because I like to bend my books back while I'm reading them. But this one's a pretty hefty big book. It's by IDW, number 2 in the series. But I didn't see any other ones in there, and I thought, well, for $5, I think I'll get some good reading out of it, hopefully. I always feel like I'm going to break the spine since I did that with one of the trade paperbacks, and now I'm afraid of it. All right, looks like he kept them in alphabetical order, which is a good thing because I'll just grab a few, we'll look at them, and I should probably go a little bit higher on this. So I have to look at it like the bottom is huge, and the top is so much smaller. Okay, let me get this all adjusted. There we go. All right, so here we got Superman, The Adventures of Superman. Just a filler. Now, again, these were $1 or $12 for $10. Also, I took a video game like a PlayStation 4 game I accidentally got at a thrift store because it was supposed to be a movie, and I opened it up, I was like, oh, PlayStation 4, I don't even have a PlayStation 4. So he's like, I'll trade it for a comic book for you because it was really not worth anything. I don't know what it was. If you want to watch that video, go back and watch them on my thrift store Thursday videos. All right, and so let's go to the next one. We got, I want to slide it to the side since there's no backs to these. The Adventures of Superman. This is one of the blue Superman ones. I definitely like to read all those and trying to get them all up together. I like to find out what happened to make him that way. Why was he feeling blue? Was he bitten by a Smurf? We have Alpha Flight. I thought I had this one. I've definitely read it before. This is a comic book I dearly remember because that cover was really awesome. In this issue, we have the Avengers and Doctor Strange pork. We have Amethyst. I don't have any Amethyst, which I was like, what? I had a lot of Amethyst when I was a kid. I don't remember having this particular Amethyst when I was a kid. But look at that Pac-Man shirt on her. That's hilarious. Yeah, this is from the early 60-cent era of the 80s. And then I got quite a few Captain Adams. Yeah, I need to get all the Captain Adams eventually. So I got number 10. These are definitely filler runs. I definitely don't have all of them yet. Even now, I don't have them all. It's got Broderick is one of the artists, great artist. Terrible, yeah, I won't go there. We also have Captain Adam number 11. Number 13. See that art right there? Definitely Pat Broderick's art. Broderick, 87. Number 15. Sorry, a while ago I actually passed out. If I sit down too long, I can go unconscious. So that's why you had a lot of short videos from me. Yeah, I didn't know I was doing it until it was too late. And you never know. You just never know. Let me grab all of the Captain Adams and see if I can get the whole thing at one time. So I got quite a few Captain Adams. Yeah, Captain Adam with a machine gun. He is a military captain. I could have swore I had this one. When I saw it, I just kind of like, now I know I have this one. And according to my collection, I do not have this one. So I don't know why I thought I did. I may just remember that I read it a long time ago. Maybe coming to Russia wasn't such a good idea. Maybe not. Yeah. There's the Captain Adam from when I was a kid. This is actually the older 1960s Captain Adam. At least 60s, maybe before that, but that's as far back as he was before I was born. Let me put it that way. The 60s, then the 70s Captain Adam I had was like the silver arm ones. Now he's more like silver all over. And then we have Captain Adam number 36. Very interesting cover, but we're now getting to a different artist. I think the last two, that one and this one. And we just got a pretty good splash cover. Really nice art. Overload. And we got the Black Racer. Awesome. I think the Black Racer, nope, I may be getting him mixed up with something else. I'm thinking if he get mixed up with the Scarlet Skier is what I'm thinking of. So the Scarlet Skier has skis also, but Black Racer I think is from from the New Gods, I think. I just thought when I saw that Scarlet Skier is just, if you ever read Justice League from the late 80s, early 90s, fantastic era of comics. And this is from that same time period. And when I've been reading Justice League Europe, I've been thinking maybe I should give Captain Atom a second chance. I like the original Captain Atoms, but that's just because it's from my childhood. This one, yeah, it's a little different. It's a little dry, but maybe there's some humor in there, and I just didn't catch it because he's the main character. And in Justice League Europe, he was the leader of it, and that's what made it much more funny because everything around him was falling apart, and he had to put up with it. Oh, make a wish. Make a wish. Let's pull them apart and see who gets the most. All right, Codename Spitfire is one of those new universe comics I want to start getting and reading. There's not too many of these. I still have yet a few more issues of Cyforce I was really hoping to get today. So Cyforce and Codename Spitfire, I want to get those two series. And maybe eventually Starbrand and some of the other ones. I've read some of the Starbrands. They're not bad at all. All right, so I should have grabbed all of these at one time. Gives me a chance to go in there and grab it for C through E. Because this is also, it's okay for me to go back like on the back of these. When I put them into my, the CLZ app, I can do it backwards. Put them back in the right order. All right, so Cyberspace 3000, they always had a nice little run of these. I don't know anything about it, but I thought it looks pretty good. It's from a good era. 1993 is a good era of reading. I just don't know anything about this. If you can kind of let me know, or if you can just let me know if you've read it or if it's any good, that would be nice to know. So we got number 1. Number 2, it's only missing one issue, and I'm like going, I bet that's one of those more rare issues. Like there's some issues you'll never get, like Superboy number 9 with the shark, King Shark, and then there's like Next Man. That was the issue I'm like, why can't I find number 3? And it was because it was the first appearance of somebody. It was a $120 book. I was like, oh, great. And then there's just let me know. Is Cyberspace 3000 the one I'm missing? Like there's number 3. Here's number 4. It's coming up soon. Number 5. I'm missing number 5. They didn't have it, so I'm going, was number 5 like a key issue that had some really death of Ad Morlock or something? I'm just wondering. Number 6. This awful cover art. Look at that. Number 7. Number 8. All right, so I have no idea anything about this. I have never seen it before, but Cyberspace sounded interesting, so I thought, what the heck? I mean, it's almost a complete run of 1 through 8, so I'm going to be upset if that one number is like impossible to get because I'll never find it. At least in the dollar bin, because that's where I shop at, clearly. All right, we got Excalibur, one of the best comics from that era as well. Something about the late 80s and early 90s, everybody was trying to hit a really humorous spot, and I'm so appreciative of those eras. So for DC during the same period, it was the Justice League, Justice Europe, Justice Unite, whatever. It was all of those. Marvel was doing Excalibur, which was hilarious too. I really enjoyed it. Maybe it's just the farcity of it. I don't know. Number 47. Number 48, I vaguely kind of remember these. I don't remember this one, but I do remember that cover for some reason. I thought at first, I was like, I have this one. No, I don't. Number 72, I definitely remember this cover, but I never read it. So 81, and then it gets to a team where it's like, I don't know if it's funny or not by this point. I have no idea. I've never read any of these late ones at all. But I hope it's still really good. number 93, and then number 120, which is very close to the very end. The very, very end. All right, it's not even halfway through. Oh, so if you didn't do the math, it's 84 plus that free one. So the one I traded in for a video game, that's what, like 85? So 7, maybe more. I mean, I may have had originally 7 groups of 10, which are technically 12 at $10, 7 groups of $10. No, I think it was 7 groups of $10. I think I paid like $86 with tax. All right, so the Fury of Firestorm. I always loved Firehawk. I thought she was really cool looking. I think this is Broderick too, isn't it? Yeah, Broderick. I always liked his art a lot, probably because I was exposed to him in Micronauts. All right, Fury of the Firestorm. There's no credits on the front, so I don't know who the artists or story writers or anything. During that time, I don't think it's more of a modern thing. It's not like back then it mattered as much. Jerry Conway, fantastic author. So I'm going to enjoy that. Oops, I'm supposed to be sliding to the side. Sorry. So in case you're like, no, I wanted to see a little bit more. Oh, there it is. Because I know what that's like. I'm like, no, I want to see some more. All right. Daily Proved, guest starring Blue Devil. The Moonbow. I don't know anything about her. I've never read number 49 or anything around it. I don't remember reading too much of this, except where he got to be like Earth Day Man, like when he became a furry guy, which I never knew how he became that though. I think it's just like a mutation in his abilities or something, but I really don't know. That's why I definitely am interested in reading through them and finding out. Now, Ostrander's another author I've heard of, and I can't remember much about him. I just see him on a lot of comic books I read. I just can't remember one way or the other. That's an interesting cover. It looks like they're trying to go for that alien vibe. I'm just like looking at all the details in it. Like there's like just you know how aliens got all those ribs and stuff and all that other stuff. Really a lot of intricate art. I feel like that's what I'm looking at. It's very interesting. This is the one I've read a few. Now I've read some of the earlier Firestorms. Like I remember the rat thing, and then I've read some of these back in the 90s. What year was this? 89. So yeah, around 19. Yeah, because it was after I graduated. So that's why maybe an Ostrander. All right, let's grab some more here. I got some that I've never even. All right, I don't want to grab more than a handful because then he might knock the camera over. All right, let me pull these over here because you've had long enough to look at these. Don't complain. All right, so we have Generation X. Now, I think I might be getting mixed up with the Age of Apocalypse, but it wasn't bad. I don't remember much about Generation X if I've ever read any. But we were talking about the movie the other day. I think they were talking about somebody, what is his name? Some new person I've been subscribed to. He was doing a live thing about, he was putting like the Marvel movies, and somebody says my Generation X. He's like, yes, but he's never seen it. And it's a made for TV, but he would have counted it, but he never saw it. Because he even included like Wolverine and Deadpool and all these things into it. So it wasn't just Disney's Marvel's movies. So Generation X, and I was like, I guess that was why I had a little bird on my head. This one and another book, it'll come up in a minute. But Generation X, I was like going, yeah, I remember that movie. I remember I had high hopes for it. Maybe that's why I never really got into the comic, because I was always afraid that it would disappoint me. But I don't think this is there's one that I read one of the issues of, like, I kind of want more of that. It was really where they got people that just kind of fell into the desert from different universe, multiple crossovers. It was kind of like after Age of Apocalypse. I'm maybe thinking of Mutant X there, which is one of the things I also grabbed a bunch of. And if I would have spent more time today, which I was like, I need to get out of here. It's a Saturday. I don't know what kind of traffic I'm facing on a Saturday. Normally, I don't go on a Saturday at all, but I went to the flea market. Since I'm already halfway there, I might as well go all the way down to the comic book shop. And I remember they had action figures of these. I remember this guy right here. Back in they all look like Gumby figures, though. I didn't really care for those action figures by Toy Biz back in the 90s. They sold them at KB Toys. Now this is probably the last good era because it gets to be more looking like it's serious and like not as fun. This looks more fun. It really does look fun. And I do know the characters a little bit from that show. Or not the show, the movie. Well, the made-for-TV movie. So here's probably where it crosses over and it gets a little more serious. But I don't know. I don't know. If you know anything about Generation X, I would appreciate knowing something about it. I was hoping somebody's joining the live by now. They go, yeah, I liked her. Yeah, I hated that or something. I don't know. Because it gets more like it's trying to be... Like toward the end, like I remember I had a few issues and it's like the covers would make me feel like they're going to try to tell me, oh, you're bad for not believing like us on something. This is a pretty thick issue. Oh, it's the 96. 95. Oh, it's 95. Okay, well, in other words, they did annuals, but instead of doing like annual 1, annual 2, they started doing like years, which kind of makes sense because it's an annual. It's only once a year, so why not just put the year on it? Then this thing called Gigantic, I saw number 5 at first, and I was like, oh, I actually have number 5. Just the covers look really like, it reminds me of Ultraman, and like this one looks a little bit more like, almost like a Godzilla type book. It looks very kaiju looking. So number 3, now I have 3 and 5. This one just looked too fun. I mean, I'm like, I can't leave that there. I love this woman. What is she, like the French Fox or something? I remember reading her in Justice League Europe. They were like, what's wrong with this picture? I remember when they brought her in, they're going, you have only Americans or non-Europeans in Justice League Europe. That's why the Europeans hate you so much, because you don't represent them. And she joined the team. And it's by Johns. Oh, I just noticed that. Johns. That's going to be a great read right here. But I do think she's an interesting character. I remember her from Justice League Europe. Grifter, I don't remember him having his own series, but I kind of vaguely remember having like number 1 or 2 or 3. But I didn't know getting out to number 6. That's pretty interesting. So I only saw one of these. I would have definitely picked up more of them. Oh, shoot. You know what I was wanting to do? I was wanting to go through the ones where they have all the comics, sets. Like, I was going to go through their sets. Dang it, I forgot to look. You know, maybe I'll make another trip this week just for the fun of it, just to get out and do something. All right, Hawk and Dove. All right, so I'll leave Hawk and Dove. I don't have much to say about Hawk and Dove except the Titans had Hawk and Dove, so I better put these over here. It's getting too big and it's going to probably fall on the floor. Hawk and Dove was in the Titans, so it kind of, made me more interested since then. But I don't vaguely remember. I really don't remember much about Hawk and Dove. I remember, gosh, I kind of remember like in New Teen Titans, they were in one of those solo things or something, but that was a long time ago. And then there's like the new Hawk and Dove. It's a number 1, so why not? I mean, then if I don't like it, I don't have to read anymore. I love this Hawkman cover. Hawk World cover. It looks really cool. It looks like they're trying to like look at the, I don't know, like the 50s. Whoa, okay. That's just a bag falling down in the box. And I was like, whoa, something going. All right, Hawkman. Uh-oh. Okay, so I got to get these reversed. So Hawkman. I may have already have this one and didn't know it, because I may have been looking on my app for Hawkman 10 and 11 thinking they were back to back, and I was wrong. So which one came first? This is like 1991, and this one is 94. Huh. Yeah, because this definitely looks like more 90s art, I guess you can say. This looks more... Yeah. They're both very different. I mean, they're not the Hawkman that I grew up reading, or... Well, I never read Hawkman as a kid. I don't think they had it back in the 70s and 80s. But their suits are very different. And then in the 90s, I did read a Hawkman that was completely different. Looks like he was not even remotely related. Hourman, I definitely want to get all of these. During the JSA, he was very important, and it was written around the same period. So it was one of the few spin-offs from JSA that was happening simultaneously. And I definitely want to get all of the JLAs. Oh, okay, this is not backwards writing. I thought it was backwards writing at first. It's like, nope, that's definitely not backwards writing. Ooh, I'm going to break the code now. The Tower of Babel. Oh, I see. Where God came down and confused the language of people. Part 3 of 4. So am I going to be able to read this comic? Hope I don't need a Dakota ring. All right. And then we have the JLA, 'Twas the Fight Before Christmas. Oh, look, Santa Claus is getting his butt kicked. Who is that fighting him, though? I thought at first it was Green Arrow. I'm not sure now who it is, because, anyway. I'm guessing it's still Ollie. All right, JLA Classified. All right, JLA Incarnations. I almost got a complete run of that. I think there's only 6 issues, and I think there's 12 issues of this. And JLA Year 1. And then Justice League of America. Now, there was 2 covers of this, so at first I was like, oh, see, now this is why I made a want list. Normally I just go off the list of comics I have for the older stuff. But when I got to this one, I was like, wait, are these 2 different ones? And I looked at my want list, and I had both covers on there. I was like, nope, this one has 2 covers, and I just picked this one out of the 2. I may have picked the less expensive or less valuable one, or they're the dollar bin. I don't think they're anything valuable. But, yeah, I just thought it looked better. All right, I like that one there. If you look at while I'm putting these back, or not back, but over here. All right, so Legion, I've not read any of these lately. I vaguely remember them back in the day, but I think they were a little bit more serious and not as humorous. And I think that's maybe why I never really cared for them as much. But if I can get all of them back to back, it might make a good story. Legionnaires, this is a weird cover, but this is from the Archie Comics version of Legion of Superheroes. I almost have a complete run. I have just a few I need, and hopefully, maybe today I've completed it. Surprisingly, I needed those 2. Now, this is a rare treat. I don't usually see Marvel Tales in there, but here's one right here, and it has Kitty Pryde in it. Marvel Tales are their reprints most of the time of, like, Amazing Spider-Man. From my knowledge, I don't have a lot of Marvel Tales. Sometimes, like, the ones I had when I was a kid, it would have, like, Spider-Ham in the back of it. Now, Mutant X, I think that's the one I read number 1 of, and I liked it, and I want to read more. So I got a nice little run. I don't have 2 and 3 here, but I may have them in my collection. Software update. I thought somebody was like saying, hey, what's up? And it says, all right, go away. Like, my phone's trying to tell me it wants to do a software update. Thought that was somebody trying to tell me something. So we got Madeline Pryor, or whatever they call her nowadays. It's funny how in one episode of the new cartoon, she became a good guy. I love Bloodstorm. During, so I'm like, I hope this is a lot of fun. I hope this is kind of carrying on the fun of the early comics from the 90s, like Excalibur. I hope this is the funness, and plus them being from different universities, how do you say plural? Multiverse. From different parts of the multiverse. So I got number 6. So is she part of the team? Huh. I remember Bloodstorm, really liking her a lot from the X-Men Blue. I read all of X-Men Blue, actually. I know it's surprising because it doesn't seem like that's in my wheelhouse, but I don't know, I just thought it was interesting that they brought the old X-Men up to the modern era. We have number 8 here. So I got a good little run right there. Number 9, which is, of course, looking like the cover of the Fantastic Four. Featuring no less than Ben Grimm, Elektra, Mole Man, Havoc. Oh, so that is Ben Grimm. I saw the 4 on him. I wasn't sure. Yeah, I think I'm going to be jumping into that first off. 2000. Oh, I don't know. There's something about this comic that makes me really want to jump in and read it. Maybe it's because I thought Bloodstorm was so awesome. I don't know why, but I did. She's got the 6 in the Fantastic Four, and now the Goblin Queen strikes. Huh. Oh, 99 annual. And then there's New Guardians. I remember seeing an ad for this in one of the comic books I was reading, so I was like, this looks kind of intriguing. The New Guardians, it looks like they were trying to make a new superhero team, and you know, every now and then they try to pop out like new teams and make them work, and they just don't work. I think this is one of their attempts. I don't know anything about it, but it looks interesting. I got number 3, 6, and I didn't grab enough of the comic books. Isn't that the girl from Green Lantern? Which would kind of make sense if they threw a Green Lantern in there. Maybe it's one of the people from her planet, but that definitely looks like the girl from Green Lantern. Except she's not wearing green. Alright. And we got the New Guardians Prisoner of the State. It's got Harbinger in it. So this is really... So after the Crisis on Infinite Earths, yeah, I didn't kind of like... Maybe they made a bunch of new teams after that. Like everything they reboot, they try to make new teams. I remember whenever they did the... what is it? The Rebirth? They made a bunch of new teams and they all failed miserably. But I was interested in them. Maybe they try to do that every time, and this is where they try to put Harbinger. I don't know. My interest is piqued, definitely. So, yeah, I keep thinking I'm going to complete my collections, but I keep on getting more things that I need to complete. So it's like I'm going down new rabbit holes. This is the thing about comic book collecting. You'll never get a comic book collection complete because you're constantly getting other things and needing to complete those. We got Nova, the Human Rocket. Great era of comics. I definitely remember reading a few of these. If this is from one where he's in college and he was trying to move in, and I remember he carried all the furniture in one hand. I thought that was pretty funny. I think that was a cover on what I read. The art looks really interesting. It's very chunky. I like that. Oh, speaking of chunky, stay tuned after I put these back in the box, and I've got to do my haul from the flea market. Yeah. So it's going to be heavy on one thing, but there's a few action figures and some other very interesting things in there. All right, we got Team Titans, number 22. I don't ever remember seeing this one, but I thought at first when I pulled it up, I was like, oh, good, another number 1, because I thought, they have all these different number 1s. I'm like, nope, this is number 22. X Factor, I'm so close to getting a complete set. There's probably one issue. It's going to be like $1,000 I'm never going to be able to get. All right. Yeah, like the Apocalypse issue, number 6. I could have sworn I had this one, but yeah. Heroes Reborn Update Inside. Oh, I got to find out about that. X Factor. So is X Factor and Mutant X related? Because isn't he in both of them? What era is this? Because maybe they dumped off some of the characters from Mutant X into X Factor at some point, or vice versa. I'm looking for a year on these covers. Looks like somebody used it for an ink thing. That's a shame. 96. So it's 96 and they were 99, so maybe it's the other way around. I remember the action figure for him. I never liked it. I never got it. Alright, we got this one. I was like, wow, this is a great X-Men. Fantastic. Look at that art on the cover. It's Andy Kubert. Very nice. It's a lot like, it definitely looks like something I've seen before. Alright, so that is all the comics I got for today. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I was hoping somebody would join me by now, but having questions, but I don't see any. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to get set up for the other thing. I'm going to put these in the box so that when I go through them, maybe later on today I'll watch a movie and go through them. Maybe I'll watch the X Factor movie. But, no, not X Factor. Whatever it's called. It's on YouTube. Alright. Just look at how nice that cover is. I always like the Psylocke, the way they drew her and everything. Alright, so, and I'll get set up and do the reviews of, or the what's it called? The flea market. So, alright, so I got some really good stuff today. At least I think so. Alright, let me see if I can hit the X and, oh, it's covering the M button. Great. Oof.